Hello, 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 and welcome back, all of my beautiful and wonderful, shining, glimmering beams of sunlight, and my wonderful, wonderful listeners. I want to mention my appreciation for all of you, and welcome you back to another episode of the Reddit Asks Us podcast. So before we head into the show, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and also please leave us a review. You can, if you have something to say about the most recent episode or you want to respond to the question of the most recent episode, go to my YouTube channel at Reddit Asks Us and comment what you think under the most recent episode, and I will read that comment out loud on the next episode. So again, welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I am your host, Luke Dick. Now, I just want to say again, thank you all so much for tuning into the episodes every single week. We have a consistent listenership and audience that I just love that. I really appreciate the fact that people tune in, every single week to listen to the show, and the show's had some of its ups and downs, but everyone stuck through it there with me and with everyone, so I'm glad everyone is still enjoying the show. And remember, if you like the show, spread it to your friends. Tell your friends about the show. Send it to them from Spotify or Pandora or Apple Podcasts or wherever else anyone gets their podcasts. So why don't we just hop right in? So last week's episode was, what is a hobby that is a red flag? So our boy Vortex, shout out to Vortex again, says putting rubbish, or I guess you would say putting rubbish in the recycling bin and putting recycling in the rubbish bin. That's such an Australian thing to say, the rubbish, the garbage. That's a British accent, but still, they don't say the garbage, the garage. Yeah, they say the rubbish. Anyways, I don't necessarily know if that would be considered a hobby by most people, but it is a red flag. It is not, especially when you're in like a public place, like when you go to the mall with your friends or something, and it's got all the garbage can has its like separations for, recycling, paper, garbage, and someone just dumps their whole tray into the garbage. It's like, what? It's easier than when it is at home. It's like literally made there for you. It's got everything that designates where you should put what, okay? It is not that difficult to just put the paper in the paper, put the garbage in the garbage, and put the recycling in the recycling. It's literally there. It's literally labeled for you. It's just it's like, they just like throw it all in the garbage. It's like, what the, for real, bro? You don't want to just take the extra 5 seconds, if that, and just throw paper in the paper, throw your bottle in the recycling, and just throw the rest in the garbage? Like, some people are just like, really, bro? You're that lazy. You're that unmotivated that you would just throw it all in there anyways. I don't get that. And like, I don't know what it is for people in other countries, but I don't understand people who throw their regular bottles in the garbage. Like regular bottles, like bottles that you would otherwise you could take to a bottle recycling place and they get money for them. I don't understand people like that. It's like, you just throw your stuff right in the garbage. You know you can get money for those bottles. They'll pay you back. It might not be always the most money, but why would you bother throwing it in the garbage? It's like, just go the extra little bit to take it to the recycling place, and then you might get, like, I don't know, 20, 40, 50, 60 bucks, depending on how much you get. So anyways, point is, throw your rubbish in the rubbish bin and make sure that you also throw your recycling in the recycling bin. So thank you so much, Vortex, for that comment, and I will be looking out for more comments from Vortex and whoever else chooses to comment under the most recent episode. So with that being said, why don't we just head right into this week's episode? All right. So let's hop in. So this is on Askreddit. Harambe is the cause. Posted this one. What is the most deranged thing you have ever seen anyone do? Now, this be warned, folks. I want to give you a content warning, I guess you could say, because some of the stories that we are about to read are not for the ease of heart, or what is the expression? Not for the faint of heart. Some of them are quite and rather disturbing, but it's interesting to listen to what other people's experiences have been. Some people have just seen some crazy, crazy stuff. The modern world is just a boiling, melting pot of people. And people, when they get together and are from all over the place, they, in technology and, and in the modern society, that people just get up to some things that are, you just really couldn't imagine why someone would want to do something like that. But someone does, and someone has, and someone will. So why don't we just hop in? Vinyl Crackhead says, I was in a bar when some guys got into an argument. The aggressor got kicked out, and the guy who started the fight, and the guy who he started a fight with went to a bar, and everyone continued. As I'm going out for a cigarette, I see the guy who the fight started with going out the door, and the aggressor was waiting outside and jumped him. Motherfucker immediately stuffed his fingers down his throat and vomited on the guy. Straight up defense mechanism puke. The guy who was trying to fight just ran away. One of the wildest things I've ever seen. A few notes. This was nearly 20 years ago. As is often the case, it sounds better as a story. The guy pretty much just vomited over himself. Either way, he was heading home to clean up. At least it was without a broken nose. The thing I'll never forget was this previously hard man acting like he fucking owned the place, whining, "It's on my shoes," before running off. It was hilarious. That is like that must have been, that's like a defense mechanism, but that's like the first thing that he was on his mind. He's trained to do this. This is something he's practiced. A lot of people like do martial arts, in case they get in a fight or something like that. This guy has just been at home and just like quick vomiting, quick fingers in the mouth. Oh, someone's coming to punch me. Boom, right there. This guy is a professional at basically puking in self-defense. Puke defense. That is what this man, that's his strong suit. He doesn't fight. My guy, he's a pacifist. He doesn't throw fists. He doesn't bring guns to a fight. He doesn't bring knives. He will do whatever it is in his power to just repulse you. He will just quick. He's practiced. He's got it down. He's got it down to a science. This man can just fingers in the mouth, quick, and just puke all over anyone. That's how he talks shit. He's just like, bro, you seriously want to fight with me, bro? I will puke all over you, bro. What? Bro, I'm going to knock your fucking teeth out, dog. You really think you're going to even get a chance to do that? Bro, I am going to vomit my bile on your shoes, bro. Beware, okay? Because I will vomit all down your shirt, bro. Yeah, bro, I don't think I want to fight you anymore, bro. So we got a reply from Blager. A guy I knew got super messed up in the bar and started a fight by hitting some other guy's girl. Oh my God. Hitting on some other guy's girl, my bad. Punches were thrown and the bouncers got in there. So my buddy squirms away and runs outside. He's out in the parking lot. As the bouncers are coming out the doors to get him, he drops his pants and starts pissing straight up and trying to catch it in his own mouth. Oh my God. The bouncers went back inside, adding it down here on your story because no one ever believes my story. A throwaway dish replies and says, sometimes I cringe about the times that I've replied, you too, to people telling me to have a good time at the movie theater. And then I hear stories like this, and I'm immediately relieved. People are fucking crazy. How does that even, I just don't understand. Did your dad teach you this? Where do you learn this skill from? Like who is your puke defense master, your sensei, you know? The guy who's relaying all this advice to you. The guy who's been through it all. He's like, listen, if you can't get yourself to puke, you're drinking, obviously, you know, you're going to have to go to the bathroom. So just let her go all over yourself. So, you know, even just on them, but honestly, even just do it on yourself. Try to catch it in your own mouth because, first of all, no one's going to want to going to punch someone who's pissed on their face. So that's pretty gross. People don't normally like that. You might piss somebody off by pissing on them. So the key is to actually piss on yourself, right? Because nobody wants to hit somebody who's pissed on themselves, right? Because number one, you seem crazy. But number two, you also smell like piss, right? And nobody wants to get piss on them. So, you know, they're probably going to do a pretty decent job of trying to avoid you in that fight. So if you don't have option one of, you know, if the puke's not coming out, if you try the quick and it's just nothing's coming, there's always the trusty piss, all right? And, you know, that's why you always just got to, whenever you go to the bar, just drink, you know, because you never know when you're going to have to piss on yourself. You literally never know when you're going to have to piss on yourself. So, yeah, just trying to help the kids out here, right? Trying to teach some self-defense, all right? Next one comes from Miss Murder Pants. Gal I went to culinary school with in the early 90s all of a sudden started juggling her knives in the hall between the classes in front of one of the chef instructors. Yes, she immediately had her 8-inch knife stuck 3 inches in the middle of her palm. Chef just sighed, shook his head, and pushed the gal to the office to get her to the ER. That is just... Where... These kids, I swear to God, have had no instruction in their lives whatsoever. How do you possibly think that is a good idea? Sorry folks, but these people, this is Darwinism, all right? This is natural selection. If you are juggling culinary knives, if you're juggling like chef knives, the huge ones, and you get it stuck through your palm, I'm sorry, but I don't necessarily think that those genetics belong in the gene pool, if you know what I'm saying. That has got to be one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. Like, oh my God. Personally, I'd rather have D'Angelo there from The Office doing his imaginary juggling no balls or nothing, rather than somebody juggling. I'd be more entertained by somebody juggling nothing or imaginary balls than I would be than somebody juggling real knives. I'm trying to get out there as fast as possible if you're juggling knives. Oh my God. Where did you grow up? Who are your parents? Like, what the hell? Okay, guys, watch this. Oh, here we go. Okay, now somebody toss me the meat cleaver. Like, come on, guys. This is just peak stupidity. All right, sorry, folks. All right, next one, reply comes from Pablo on 35 meter. University, physical or practical training, waiting on the instructor, being bored. There was an anvil. Take a 2-kilogram hammer. Somebody put his hand on the anvil. The trick was to pull away before the hammer hit the anvil. 2 students have great reaction speeds. Instructor enters the forge, sees the game, and claims he had a great reaction time. He did not. The hammer hit him at full force. The surgeon had many hours of work to put the hand back together again. That's got to be so embarrassing if you're that teacher. Like, trying to talk your shit, trying to impress your students. You literally get a massive hammer, just completely full force, like point blank range, just absolutely smash your hand. Your hand's never looking the same after that. Your hand is forever deranged. If anyone's seen The Banshees of Inisherin, very good movie that just recently came out. I wouldn't be surprised if many people haven't seen it, but very good movie. Then that's the hand there of Column's hand. come on, man. You're the teacher. You're literally the teacher. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm dropping your class. If you're the teacher and you come in there, that's like a shop teacher being like, yo, the saw there, you know, the one that pops up, yeah, I can take my hand away from it and just easily dodge that shit. I've got the best reaction time. Just saws his hand in half. Like, I'm dropping your class, bro. I'm not getting taught by somebody who will literally put their hand down on an anvil and say they have good reaction time, and then literally watch as your hand gets obliterated, flattened by another student. Like, what the heck? As if the teacher absolutely has the complete wrong reaction of what a teacher is supposed to have, right? The teacher is supposed to be like, guys, come on, it's not smart what we're doing here. All right, someone's gonna get hurt. All right, so the best thing is here to do. So I gotta try this shit. I gotta try this shit. All right, next one. Coming from Bobby21. I worked in an ICU. The patient was being asked their goals of care and if they wanted to be resuscitated. The patient said yes. Her daughter said no. The attending said, well, your mom is still competent, so we have to follow her wishes. The daughter pulled the doctor aside and said, why don't you just give her some medications to put her to sleep? She won't be competent, and then my word goes, and then you'll pull the plug. Silence for a while, and then the attending just said, no, we don't do that. Very slowly, and escorted the daughter out of the room. The patient made it out of the hospital okay that time anyway. I sometimes wonder how she did after that. Yeah, There's just no point, Doc. There's really no point in making her suffer like this. She's been through enough. Do you know what your mom is here for? She sprained her wrist, right? I know. So tough. Ugh. I wish there was something we could do about it. It's just, but these are just one of those things, right? Just one of those things. There's nothing you can do about it, really. Just nothing. I understand. It's going to be really tough, but we're going to get through this. So if you could just pull that plug, just take it out there, just give her a little, and I don't want her to go out in pain either. So just give her a little, injection, just knock her out. Yeah. Then just pull that plug right out of the wall. Just boom, just give it a little pull, she won't even know. And like, I'm her, I'm her legal guardian or whatever. So you might as well just let's get it over now. I don't want to be this. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh no, like I should trust my intuition. So yeah. How about you just wait here? I'm going to call the police. Next one comes from One time I transported this kid who had been displaying homicidal ideations. His family cat had kittens, and he drowned them in the sink. His parents, naturally, were so upset he flushed their insulin down the toilet, hoping they would die without it. He was 5. Oh my God. This is just... Listen. I will never, ever advocate for infanticide or killing children. But I think we should consider it for this kid. I'm not saying we got to do it. But I'm saying, what is it such a big deal if we don't consider it? I mean, he killed the kittens, right? Like, this seems like one of those things that doesn't really just end. This isn't just, it's just a phase. Timmy's just going through a phase, kills kittens, it's just little boys, sometimes that's how they are. How boys are, right? Right? Your little boys are like that, they just kill kill the kittens. Tell me your little boys are like that. Tell me they're like that. Oh my God. That is so unbelievably violent. For someone who's 5? Like I said, folks, I'm never for killing kids. But, like I said, this just doesn't seem like one of those things that just you grow out of, you know? I used to play with little Lego figures, and they would kill each other, and they would have big fights, and I used to have sword fights with imaginary people, and, you know, big gunfights with imaginary people. I grew out of that. You know, I don't really do that anymore. You know, it's not something I particularly, you know, spend my free time doing as an enjoyment or a pastime. However, if you grew up actually killing kittens, it just doesn't seem like one of those things that you're just like, I think I'm getting a little too old for this, you know? And when that person does reach that point where maybe they say, maybe I'm too old for this, what do you think's more likely to happen? That they're just going to stop? Or that they're going to move on to maybe killing humans? Or other animals? Yeah, this is messed up, folks. I think this child's a lost cause. I really do. I don't think there's much you can do after that. Antisocial personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, it's just, and that's on the surface. I don't think you really have to do too much digging for that. You killed a bunch of kittens by drowning them in a sink, and then you tried to kill your parents by flushing their insulin down the toilet at none the less than 5 years old. Jeez. I think you beat out some of the world's craziest and most violent serial killers. All right. So, next one comes from Crospington Froz. I was sitting at a cafe once when a man sitting a few tables away from me locked eyes. Maintaining eye contact, he leaned over the vase of a pussy willow stem decorating the table and just munched on them. Just took a whole bite of twig and fuzzy willow bud. This is just like, you know, casually making eye contact with somebody. Hey, give him a little wink. Just give him a little, what's up, babe? See this pot of flowers on the table that they left? I'm just gonna munch the top of them. Absolutely just demolishing the rose petals. What the heck? That'd be so funny if he's all like dressed up too. He's all like dressed all fancy. So like, hello, my lady. Have you ever tried the leaf of a poinsettia? Hello, my lady. Have you ever tried eating a cactus raw? You know how they make tequila from cactuses or cacti? Well, I prefer to eat them straight up. Jesus Christ. How do you even end up with doing something like that? And that's like so weird. Like a willow is like, it's like a cottony type thing. It's like, ew, it's not even like a flower or something even remotely edible. Like it's like a fabric or a cotton. Like that's disgusting. All right, next up we have one from Junimo T. I had a younger cousin who I was absolutely scared of when I was younger, refused to be alone with her, stopped tagging along to holidays in their area. The kind of kid that pulled out a box of crickets under her bed to show me how she pulled off the legs and put tacks through them. Oh my God. She cut my hair in my sleep during a sleepover. She flattened her mom's tire once because she wouldn't take us to a movie. She was about 7. Last I heard, she was in therapy and living with her grandparents today. Mom couldn't handle her. That kid is going to have an absolute shock when they start showing their family and little cousins and all this stuff this box of mutilated crickets, then literally being like, what, you guys don't do this too? Come on. We're in that phase, right? It's our childhood. Come on, Saturday morning cartoons, Disney Channel, right? It's Netflix, right? We just love it. Nintendo Switches, Minecraft, pulling the legs off of crickets and stabbing them with thumbtacks. Classic things we all used to do when we were kids. Classic things. I had a Game Boy growing up. Try to get me off that. Yeah, I used to kill mice. Burn them alive. Yeah. Yeah, classic kids, You know it is. You know it was. Love that Wizards of Waverly Place. And murdering dogs. Yeah. Yeah, shooting rabbits with BB guns. Love it. So fun. Classic parts of our childhood. What would I do without it? Right? Am I right? All right, next one coming from, let's see, Oscar Devine. This one had an award. All right. Eye doctor here. Where shall I begin? I remember one young lady who came in for a routine visit, but her eyelids were very swollen from her fake eyelashes. The adhesive was laid on thick and was literally blocking her gland orifices and causing massive infection in both of her eyelids. Despite the severe swelling, she didn't seem particularly fazed. It wasn't even her reason for the visit. I looked at her under the lamp, then told her that those lashes are going to need to go. So I turn around to grab some petroleum jelly and some Q-tips to work those adhesive clumps off slowly when I start hearing what sounds like Velcro being torn apart. I turn around and she ripped out both top lids of fake lashes, including every single natural lash she had. It was startlingly a clean job, and she looked at me completely bald-eyed and said, "Okay, now what? Don't forget, they were infected and swollen." Well, now they were even more swollen and had a ton of ripped-off lash stumps. So I prescribed her some antibiotics and told her that her lashes would probably grow back over the next few weeks. Oh my God. Now, this is the definition of somebody who just gets down and dirty and does it themselves. This person makes no excuses, okay? There is absolutely no excuses for this girl. Oh, you broke your wrist? So what? Throw that football. Throw it. Matter of fact, throw it as far as you can. Broken wrist will repair itself. Come on, everyone knows that. Oh, you broke your femur? Oh no, you're having internal bleeding? Come on. Internal bleeding, what is that? Everyone knows blood bleeds from the outside. Come on. Grow up. There's no such thing. Oh, I think I'm having kidney failure. Really? Really, kidney failure? Just literally stop. Rip it out then if it's so frickin' painful. God, can't stand this. I can't stand you being here. Oh, you have cancer? Oh, your white blood cells are attacking your own body? So what? Literally just stop. It is not that hard. Just make them stop. Okay? Some people, excuses for everything. Can't believe it. You can't eat because you're hungry, because you have cancer, and everything you eat, just you throw up. You're revolted by food. Just eat. Literally just put food in your mouth and swallow it. Wow. Some people just amaze me. That is just despicable. I can't believe that. What a menace. She wasn't even there for that. She was literally there to get like her eyes checked. Make sure she didn't need glasses. It's like, you might be blind. All right. Not only might you need glasses, but you literally might be going blind because of these fake eyelashes that you've got tattooed on yourself. Holy crap. What people will do in the name of fashion or beauty and stuff, just holy crap. Like there is some, I've seen like, those Snapchats when you swipe to the story page of Snapchat and you see all the, all those independent Snapchat pages or whatever that'll recommend content to you that are like, world's wildest stories and all these sorts of things on the side. There's been so many I've seen from these women who just get ridiculously large breast implants. It's like, is that help? Does it, who is like, yo, that's it? Like, at this point, like, because the whole idea, right, is that people do it because of their perception. They have such a, twisted perception of how they want other people to perceive them. But it's like, really? Like, you want other people to perceive you like this? Like, is that, to each their own, but why? It is not appealing. I'm sorry. It's just it's not my cup of tea, rather. Not my cup of tea. I'm sorry, ladies who do that. I'm really sorry. It's not my cup of tea, so I'm sure it's for someone, surely. All right, anyways. Let's see. Next one comes from Hewis Closelacue. Okay. I used to bartend at a venue. Once witnessed a man stomp another man's head into the pavement over and over again. It was a venue. Bouncers at the front door, bouncers at the back, and I was and still am female. Do you know the look that humans get in their eyes? That means there's no other solution but violence. I did my best, and I still try to. That is just so violent. That is like, if you guys haven't seen American History X, that's what it reminded me of. It's like a video. There's like a scene in that movie. It's the most horrible scene I've ever seen from pretty much any movie, I think. It's just not only because do they show somebody getting it violently curb stomped, but which is just horrifying, but the context in which it happens is so awful as well. It's like, it's so terrible. It makes you want to just curl up into a ball and die. That is, holy crap, man. Why are you so angry? Isn't there any other way you could take this out? There must be some other way. I refuse to believe there is no other way that somebody can deal with their pent-up aggression than stomping on somebody's head on the pavement. Like, oh my Lord, that's just... Now, I don't know about you guys, but it seems a little excessive. Seems just a little excessive, if you ask me. Okay, let's just move on. I don't want to talk about that anymore. All right, let's go to McCheese Truther. Restaurant kitchen, middle of the busiest night of the year. Something went wrong, not sure what, but I'm pretty sure it was a fairly small setback. Sous chef goes ballistic, screams at some people, and then reaches bare hand into the blast oven and grabs out 2 scorching hot bowls of baked soup, ruins his hands, and throws them into the window with the skin from his palms visibly stuck to it in places. He immediately calms down, walks off the line to treat his hands, came back out to try and direct from the front for a bit, then at some point just went home without saying anything, came back a week or 2 later, divorced from his wife. That is wild. And the thing is there, too, is you literally did that to yourself. You are so mad at other people that you destroyed your own hands. Like, you're not going to have any feeling in your hands anymore. Like, you're literally going to put your hand on a table and just be like, yeah, I can't even feel this. No idea what this feels like. Is it touching? Is it not? Is it up? Is it down? I have no idea. Buddy, chill out, okay? That is, like, is it really that big of a deal? There are tons of restaurants. There are never going to stop being restaurants, okay? People can be so obsessed with this status of, no, I must work at the most prestigious of all restaurants, and I must treat my employees like garbage, or else it is truly not a kitchen, or a kitchen that I would want to work in. Like, what the heck? Come on. You sacrificed your own hands getting mad at other people. My guy, I don't know about you guys, but my guy needs to chill out a little bit. Let's pop a little vitamin chill. All right. Anyways, okay, I think I'm just going to wrap it up for today, folks. So I want to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in to the show every single week. Remember, this is the Reddit Asks Us podcast. I am your host, Luke Dick. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, remember to comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, leave us a rating, and also please leave us a review. If you want to respond to the question on the most recent episode, go and comment under the most recent episode on my YouTube page at Reddit Asks Us, and I will read your comment out loud for all ears to hear. I love every one of you, and please comment, please share. See you next week. Bye-bye.